seconds. For some context, back in 2017, the last eclipse that swept across America, the longest time was only around 2 minutes and 40 seconds. That was in Carbondale. This time around, some very long times, just a little bit northwest of Torreon, Mexico. They're going to get upwards of 4.5 minutes. A lot of time to really observe it, but just make sure that you know when to be outside. And as always, access that tool at go.nasa.gov/eclipse explorer. This is going to keep moving on. You see this little thing? I have this actually running in real time. This is our shadow of totality. This is going to continue to move further and further to the northeast and actually make landfall in just a few moments in Mazatlan, Mexico. As you've seen all throughout the broadcast, we've got correspondents all up and down the U.S., all the way up to Maine, covering this live. Very excited to continue tracking this. Make sure you know what's going on here. But for now, back to you, Megan.
All right, thank you, James. So now let's introduce you to more of our correspondents along the path, starting first with NASA's Lauren Ward, standing by to show us what's happening in Indianapolis, Indiana.
That's right. Thanks, Megan. We are at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in Indianapolis, Indiana. It is a gorgeous day. Behind me, I have over 50,000 people here to spectate today. Today, we are waiting for a spectacle that is of a celestial kind. Of course, this is most known for the Indy 500, but we are waiting for something a little bit special today. With me, I have the 2016 Indianapolis Motor Speedway winner, Alexander Rossi. Good to see you.
Maravilha. Imagens de novo. Vamos ver a nossa outra câmera como é que tá. Nossa câmera, outra câmera tá um pouquinho já atrasada, não é normal.
The track, when you're doing a qualifying round, is about 4 minutes long, which coincidentally is the length of totality. So
aí, agora tá cobrindo normal, tá? A outra câmera também tá.
The sun plays a huge role in determining the performance of the car based on the track conditions. So we actually, when it's a day like this, as much as it's beautiful for the fans, it's actually very difficult for us as drivers because as the surface heats up, the oils come to the top of the asphalt and it actually becomes slippier. So that's surprising to people. They think that temperature would mean grip, but it is until a certain point. And then once it kind of crosses over 100 degrees on the surface, you start to actually go the other way.
Wow, and tell me about those tires. How does the sun affect those?
So we use slick tires. So Firestone tires are slick. On a road car, you have tread, right? Because they're supposed to use in all conditions. Slick tires actually have a bigger contact patch, more surface area, so they generate more grip at a temperature, right? So they operate between 180 to 230 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, the sun is good until a point. When they go over that 230 degree mark, you start to lose that grip again.
Ooh, all right. Well, we have a little competition going on today. We're trying to determine whose big day is it. Is it the sun's, the moon's, or the Earth? So my question to you is, are you Team Sun, Team Moon, or Team Earth?
That's a hard one, but I'm gonna go Team Earth. You know, I just think we're so lucky, especially today with the people that are around us here.
How to be a portrait master.
Go Earth.
Go Earth. You're here first. All right, guys. Thanks. We'll be back here. Daryl in Niagara, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Lauren. Just 500 miles northeast of you. We are here at Niagara Falls, right next to the Niagara River. This is a special location for a lot of people because it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see a natural wonder set against a celestial one, the solar eclipse. And so let's talk first of all about the natural wonder, and it all starts right here. Look at this massive river and the amount of water that's moving through here. 500,000 gallons of water, 500,000 bathtubs actually going over the falls at every 60 seconds. It's tremendous, the flow here. It interacts with the air, it hits the rocks, and it also, you know, it flows up a mist column that is omnipresent. This is always here. So one of the things that eclipse watchers want to see is, how does it interact with the light? Will we have a pink rainbow because only prominences from the sun will be seen and they're pink? We'll have to see about that. One thing we do need is a little bit better cloud clearing around here because we do have some cloud cover. But that's okay. People who have gathered here are excited and they're hopeful that it will clear. Who's here? Well, I want to show you our camera from about 500 feet away. Look at all my friendly eclipse watchers. Are you guys ready for an eclipse? Yeah! Well, I love the energy. We could use this energy to blow the clouds out of here. As our camera backs out, you're looking at Terrapin Point, and this is the lawn here. It's roughly the size of a football field, and everybody who's here, a lot of people came in at 6 a.m. this morning. They currently cut off the park from anybody from coming further into Goat Island here. So this is the max capacity that we're at right now. It's that popular. Over to the other side, our friends from Canada. Look across the river gorge, about 1,000 feet away. Niagara Parkway is lined with people. So it's a beautiful shot over there, and we really appreciate our Canadian friends who have joined us. Now, this isn't just about the solar eclipse. We've been here for the past week, and we were at locations all across Niagara Falls, 12 to be exact. Take a look at this video. Crowds of people packed the Niagara State Park Welcome Center, where Commander Munikin Campos, the mannequin who flew around the moon during the Artemis 1 test flight in 2022, was on display. Our partners at the Canadian Space Agency sent kids virtually to space all week long. And NASA experts from the Kennedy Space Center gave presentations and talks at places like the Niagara Aerospace Museum and libraries across the area. The outreach was a huge success, with thousands of people participating in the events and passing through our exhibits. We just want to thank everyone who came out to see us at all our locations, and we hope you left a little inspired about space exploration and a little wiser about all NASA's missions. Okay, coming up, we've got a very special guest for you who's going to share the eclipse with us. CSA astronaut Jeremy Hansen. He's going around the star today, the moon. Not the star, the sun, the moon. The star of the show, I should say. He's going to be here. He's interacting with the public. We're going to get his thoughts on totality along with everybody else who is here. And we're pumped and excited. Right, everybody? We ready for the eclipse? You can hear the excitement. All right, now I'm going to send it 800 miles to the northeast to my colleague Angelique Herring, who is in Holton, Maine, where I hear you have some pretty good weather.
Hello, Daryl, and welcome everybody to Maine. That's right, we do have some great weather. We are here in Maine, and actually we're about 3 miles away from the Canadian border, and also about the last stop on I-95 North. So we're the northmost spot for today's eclipse broadcast, at least in the United States. And so hello from way up north. Now, just like Daryl said, we do have some excellent weather here in Maine today. We've been here for a couple of days, and it's actually been pretty wintry right up until about yesterday. We had snow, it was pretty cold, but you know what? Today, the sun is out, the skies are blue, and it's looking like perfect conditions for an eclipse, or as the Mainers would say, wicked good weather. Now, we're actually standing here in Market Square in Maine, and we are outside of the Temple Theater, where it has actually been in operation since 1919.
Perfeito, Jojo. Eu adoro falar bœuf bourguignon.
Bife bourguignon?
Olha, está quase pronta a viagem à promoção.
It's got a more celestial show with the eclipse. Now, the last eclipse to come through Maine was actually in 1963, and that eclipse was only visible for about a minute. In contrast, today's eclipse will be visible for at least just about 3 minutes or so, so everyone here is going to have a lot of time to take in the celestial show, really soak in the event. And the next eclipse won't be coming through Maine until 2079. So it makes a lot of sense that we've got a lot of people here really excited to see this once-in-a-generation opportunity and event. We're all excited. I know everybody here is excited. So we'll be here waiting for the moment that we've all been waiting for, the eclipse. With that, back over to you, Megan.
Hey, thank you, everyone. It was really cool to see everyone along the path of totality. You can tell we're covering a large swath of land because everybody's in different kind of attire. You know, you have short sleeve shirts somewhere, and then you have like Daryl, who it looks very, very cold, and he does have some cloud cover, so I hope that it does kind of clear out for him.
I feel like we've covered all of those levels of weather over the last day.
That's true, here in Cleveland. So, but it's looking nice now, so that's great. And actually, if you were watching our screen here, we just had a view of the eclipse in Mazatlan, Mexico. In about 10 minutes, that's when we'll start seeing totality in that area. And in that time, the U.S.'s top doctor is encouraging everyone to try and watch the celestial event for our physical and mental well-being.
Hi everyone, I'm U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy. I'm thrilled to be joining you today as you gather to experience a truly awe-inspiring event. The last chance that we'll have to see a total solar eclipse and the contiguous United States for the next 20 years. The sun is a universal source of light and life. It contributes to our physical, mental, and emotional well-being, and it unites all of us. Today, no matter where you're watching from, whether it's along the path of totality or a partial solar eclipse, you are sharing the experience with millions across the nation. And moments of connectedness like this truly matter. Last year, I issued a Surgeon General's advisory warning about the public health crisis posed by loneliness and isolation. I share that our connection with one another is a powerful force that can help protect against the damaging physical and mental health impacts of loneliness. What better reason is there to come together with friends and loved ones than to share a once-in-a-generation experience like the solar eclipse? This is an experience that will stay with you, precisely because of the awe that it inspires. Awe allows us to step outside of ourselves, giving us fresh perspective and opening us up to connections. So grab your eclipse glasses and let's enjoy this moment together.
Some great advice. Thank you so much. All right, we have time for other hashtag eclipse questions. Sarah, are you ready?
I am absolutely ready.
All right, let's take a look at this video from a familiar face.
Hey everyone, I'm Scarlett Johansson and I play a NASA Public Affairs Director in the new film Fly Me to the Moon. I hope everyone is safely enjoying today's eclipse. I actually have a question about the moon for NASA. So during a total solar eclipse, I've heard that craters and features on the moon play a role in what viewers see on Earth when the moon blocks the sun. So why is that?
Scarlett. So yeah, as we, the moon isn't a smooth marble. It actually has big high mountains and valleys, these craters. And as we approach totality, sometimes you'll hear people talk about Bailey's beads. And these are the last few moments of sun creeping through those deep valleys just before we hit totality.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's so great to have you here to answer some of these questions, and we plan to take more if you send them in, hashtag eclipse again. Okay, if you're just joining us, I'm NASA's Megan Cruz, and this is NASA lunar scientist Sarah Noble. And as you can see, you are watching the official NASA broadcast for today's total solar eclipse. And we are in the heart of downtown Cleveland, where NASA is celebrating this celestial alignment. Take a look at our shot from the air. That is how many people who are just here at the Great Lakes Science Center alone. So many more spread out throughout Cleveland, because again, the last time this city had a total solar eclipse was 1806. But again, just down the road, we have the only NASA center in the path of totality.
When it comes to NASA, I think a lot of people initially think of rocket launches in Cape Canaveral or astronauts floating above the
Well, can you explain why space weather is important to us here?
Technically, so it's not just a satellite that are interested in space weather. It's also our power grid because of those internet occurrences causing from those big explosions that happen in the sun. That could hinder our grid. It could also do things like intermittent GPS signals that I know we all use our phones to navigate everywhere. If we didn't have that, that would be a big problem. So we're looking to understand it better so we all really use those things.
Some of the movement we see here is just our telescope operator adjusting as the LED makes some changes from before totality. Now they're viewing it a different way, and then after totality, you might see it shake here as well. But I really just cannot believe how crisp it is. As we said, it's not a marble, but usually with the view of it, it's so pretty. These little, again, these filaments are just amazing that we can see that to such accuracy,
Really, and also the white buzz. I mean, you're seeing something that's a million degrees just hanging out all around the sun. And three billion Earth can fit inside there. So there's a lot of atmosphere there, all around there, just hanging out and being very warm. And so one of our mysteries is, and one of the B-57s are addressing.
There you go, W-57, our pilot. He's flying, so basically he's going to fly and try to chase down the shadow as long as possible, keep up with it as long as possible.
Exactly. The shadow is one of the things that the plane chasing the sun in terms of minutes. So on the ground, we can only get 4.5 minutes.
I love that they're waiting there.
Tracking the total solar eclipse. At this point, we're about halfway to totality, which starts at 1:52 local central time. I'd like to welcome back Nixie Iwata, Digital Communications Coordinator of the Griffith Observatory Foundation, which is one of the sponsors of this broadcast and exclusive and our exclusive non-profit partner. Hi, Pixie.
Hi, Patrick. This is so amazing.
What are we watching for, Kelly?
I just want to say hello to all the students who are watching online with us today, with a special shout out to any students who have attended Griffith Observatory school programs. If you haven't attended, we still have space for 5th grade classes to participate before the end of the school year. Our online school program is presented live by Griffith Observatory museum guides and telescope demonstrators. Visit obs.la/school to sign up.
Thanks, Pixie. We are now counting down towards totality. Just about half an hour away. You're watching live the Observatory broadcast of the total solar eclipse from Little Rock, Arkansas. I will be back about 10 minutes before the beginning of totality. Enjoy.
For North America here, so thank you so much. All right, as you can see, there's a lot to learn about our sun and eclipses, so to explain it all in a really fun way for kids, NASA developed a clever game called Snap It. We like they can see me. But I did just spoil the surprise. We do have Snoopy here, our chief safety officer here at NASA, and he's here to tell us how to safely watch the eclipse. So Snoopy, if we were to watch the eclipse today before totality, what should we do? That's right, you should have your glasses on. That's right.
Well, what about during totality, Snoopy? Can we take them off? Yeah, let me help you out here.
Snoopy, there I can see your shining bright eyes. That's so funny. Now, Snoopy, I have to ask you a question, okay? So today we've been polling everybody, asking for the total solar eclipse today, who is the big star of the show, right? Is it the Earth? Is it the Earth? Is it the Moon? Is it the Sun? Okay, but you have to pick one. Pick one. You don't want all of them? All of them, right? That's right. Snoopy, thank you so much. I know you're super excited to see the total solar eclipse today. We're glad to have you here. Bye. All right, let's head back over to Tahira in Irvine, Texas.
There, so take a look at that. There's a gets covered very today. Weather on this one today. It's not just
Justin, who wants to know, right now we are seeing a pretty clear and spectacular view of a total solar eclipse.
Yes.
But Justin wants to know, what will it look like if it's clouded over?
Right, so the view that we're getting right now, you won't be able to see that if it's cloud over, but you will have effects going on, right? You'll get a change in the temperature, so the temperature will drop. It'll still get darker.
It's already getting dark here.
I mean, we have some cloud coverage, right? And we're feeling a little extra wind. It's noticeably darker despite the clouds that we have. So you'll get some of those environmental effects, even if it's cloudy where you are.
And so Christopher on X, who wants to know which other planets have the best eclipses.
Oh, okay, well, that's right. So eclipses don't only happen on Earth. Let's talk about Mars for the fact that Mars does have eclipses when the moon crosses in front of Mars. Mars has 2 moons, and the rovers on the surface have captured images of those.
But no other planet has a view quite like this, right?
Nope, that is special for us. Just the distance and the size of the moon makes it such that it will completely block the sun as it's doing today.
Wow.
And you can see there's that diamond ring effect as we are coming out of totality in Orion. Wow, it's a bright one too. Look at that.
It's a bright one. So is this what, a Bailey's bead? Or
So that's going to be that diamond ring, just how bright it is. Bailey beads are a little bit smaller as they kind of bubble over the surface, but folks who are in that location should have those safety viewing glasses back on so that they can now view the partial eclipse that they are experiencing.
Well, that is fantastic. And you know, the next time we see this eclipse, it's going to be right here in Kerrville, Texas. So once the countdown is on, we got about 10 minutes until we see this with our own eyes. You can be in the big moment right here in Kerrville. For now, let's check back in with Lauren at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Thanks to Kira. We are getting close to eclipse ourselves, but for now, we have a very special guest, NASA's very own Pam Melroy, Deputy Administrator and former astronaut. Pam, it's good to see you.
Oh, it's great to be here. I'm so excited.
It's very exciting. So what's it like being in Indianapolis for an exciting event like this?
Well, it's a beautiful day here, and I love the fact that we're here with thousands of people in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but we're joining with millions of people around America looking up together to the sky.
Absolutely. And tell me, is this your first eclipse?
It's not my first eclipse, but it will be my first totality. I've seen several partial eclipses, but there's something mystical and mysterious, and in some ways unifying about a total eclipse, and we're all going to feel it together.
Absolutely. We could not have learned more on this weather today. So as a former astronaut, we know that sun science and space weather are very important to keeping our astronauts safe. What is space weather and why do we care about it? What is NASA doing to study it?
Yeah, that's right. It's actually very important. It is of concern for astronauts who are in space because they experience the radiation of the sun that comes from solar flares and solar weather. But the reality is it's also affecting life here on Earth. It impacts the upper reaches of our atmosphere called the ionosphere, which is an electrified part of our atmosphere that is a conduit for communications. It's critically important. It can even affect power grids. And of course, if you ever have seen the Northern Lights, you've seen the effect of solar weather. So, but really the focus for today is where that solar weather starts, and that's in the corona, the sun's atmosphere. It's very unusual, and we don't exactly know what's happening because the sun's atmosphere is millions of degrees hotter than the surface of the sun. So we are hoping to learn today more about how that happens and why that happens so that we can better predict those solar flares and those things that impact us here on Earth.
Yeah, that's all extremely important and something that we're learning a lot today.
about, what, 4 minutes to
4
just
minutes
bask?
and 25 seconds
To be a
Yes.
I mean, this really,
Yes.
again, reminds you that we are on this one planet, you know,
Yes.
in this larger system.
And you have to be on this planet to see what we're seeing.
You do.
right
That's
now.
why we are Team Sun, Earth, and Moon. Because you need the moon for an eclipse. You need the sun for an eclipse. And we're standing on the Earth to see it.
Oh, man.
So, all of NASA science represented by a total solar eclipse.
And something that, what, over 30 million of us today, at least in the path of totality.
At least, yes.
Able to
yeah.
witness this.
31
know about
people
you.
living in the path of totality. So
Doesn't
imagine
count
how
who
many people
travels.
actually traveled here. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This is getting me extra excited about all the science that
All the science that we're doing.
right?
Yes. Yes.
All right, those clouds are playing tricks on
Those
us
clouds
now.
are being pretty mean. Yes.
It was nice to get a taste, though. Wow.
It's true.
Yes.
So dark.
It is.
Got everybody
is
looking
so
up.
dark.
I'm so happy that, you know, for folks that travel,
Yes.
able to see this take place.
That's right.
And
And
it's
so-
been such a great atmosphere here all day. Every time the sun comes out, everybody
Everybody's
cheers.
cheering,
Yeah.
counting down. It has been incredible. And so, wow.
That's true.
Oh, Nikki, what's your favorite part about these? About an eclipse? Is this your first?
No, this is my second one. 2017. I was in Nebraska and I saw it there. But I think there's just you can study the sun, you can study the corona, but suddenly you see it with your own eyes, and it's that feeling of just wow, that is our star. Like it isn't just the sun anymore. That's a star, and you see it looking like a star. And you know, as we study. As we look for exoplanets in other galaxies that might be able to support life, you know, we need to understand our relationship here on this planet with that star. And so it's so important. And I think when you see it, you're just like, wow, it actually is a star.
Hello, everybody.
It's not just
I
a
just
bright
want to
point
show you
light in
the
sky. You can see the
horizon. It's
structure.
getting
You can see just how exciting the sun is, and actually how dynamic it is.
Yeah. And you know, it's not often in heliophysics that we can actually see the science that we're doing with our own eyes.
That is right.
So it's
That
a
is
rare
right.
experience.
Or
Yes.
even sharing it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Millions of
here-
us
So
today.
many people
Yeah.
partake.
Yeah.
That's right. It's pretty windy too here.
It is windy.
And so I know earlier in the show we've mentioned that total solar
The moon
eclipses
is covering
really
up
might only pass through a
most of
certain
the sun.
location, say every 375 years.
Yeah.
Can you explain how come we don't see eclipses like this
Every
day?
month. Yeah.
Every month.
Because the moon's orbit is actually tilted, and so most of the time when it passes in front, it doesn't block out the light for us. At this particular time, it is right between, on the plane between the Earth and the Sun. It is actually at its closest point to the Earth, and so in the plane of the sky, the moon is exactly the same size as the sun, and that is very unique.
That is so special too.
Yes.
I mean, like, what are the odds?
It's the 400s, right?
Yes.
The distance between the Earth and the Moon is 400 times closer than
Yes.
the Earth and the Sun, and the size is 400 times smaller as well. So it just blocks it perfectly.
Yep. It does, and right now the clouds are blocking it perfectly.
Hey, but we got a taste of it, which
We
was
did.
very nice, and we are
We
chasing
did.
this eclipse across North America
We
today.
are.
So excited.
Yeah, we
to see
are.
the
I
other
think it
locations.
wants to come out again. I don't
do
know. These
too.
clouds are thinning.
Yeah, the clouds.
You can hear the crowd
cheering,
cheering.
getting excited.
We're hopeful.
Yeah.
Channeling all that good energy.
This crowd has been great all day.
Oh, yes.
All day.
It's crazy to believe too that it was so dark and it's only like midday.
Oh yes. Yes. Yeah.
Wow, and we're starting to get some of
Starting
this.
to get the light back.
Yeah, starting to get the light back.
Yep. So unfortunately, we did not see the diamond ring at the end of the eclipse because of the clouds, which is always a crowd pleaser. But we did see it actually right before totality. There was suddenly this beautiful, bright one light, and then it all went dark. So we did actually see quite a few great features on the sun, and somebody actually was saying they could see a sunspot. Obviously through their glasses, but they could see a sunspot. So yeah.
Can you clarify what the sunspots are for our viewers?
Yes, absolutely. So if you were looking through your glasses, you might have seen a couple of dark spots on the sun. They are actually very intense places. There's very, very intense magnetic field there. They're very active, and that is what can cause space weather. So every now and again, those active regions can sort of explode and then send billions of tons of solar material towards our planet.
Wow. Well, this was fantastic. Thank you so much, Nikki. This was incredible to experience this with you. Let's follow this eclipse right up that path. Next up is Dallas. We have Joy and Michael standing by for their big moment in the sun.
Yeah, you can feel the temperature change. The wind is completely quieted down. Yep.
So the energy here is amazing. So with me right now is Dr. Michael Kirk. He's one of our eclipse experts. Michael, we saw an annular eclipse back in October, but today is a total eclipse. How are you feeling today?
It is totally different. I am ecstatic. The annular eclipse was really cool. This is, you can feel it, the energy here is electric.
If you look around, you can see that the darkness is coming. Let's have a quick look at what we're looking at right now. We're almost there. We're a couple of minutes away.
Ooh, yep. Just a crescent left.
So let's quickly talk about some of the ways that the public are participating in the eclipse right now.
Yes.
Michael, can you talk about some of the citizen science projects?
Yes, there are people all around the country right now making measurements of audio recordings to hear how the environment is changing. And it is a great opportunity to do genuine science with just an audio recorder.
Fantastic. So we are almost like, let's see, a few minutes away. So a minute 30 out, I think, actually. So let's have a look at the eclipse. Michael, what should we expect to see moments before totality?
Okay, so as we approach totality, you're going to see that crescent sun slowly drift away, and then you're going to see the Bailey's beads, where there are these bright points of light that are last bits of sunlight cascading through the moon valleys, and then right before totality, you'll see a diamond ring, that last single point of light, and then we'll be in totality. We just have a thumbnail of sun left. We are closing in on totality here.
Wow, we see a slither of the sun left. Remember, you can only take your safety glasses off when the moon has completely covered the sun, and in Dallas, Texas, we are seconds away.
Oh my goodness, I can feel my heart racing. You can hear the crowd getting excited. The birds are chirping, and they seem like they're going into their nighttime routines.
Wow. So we are a few seconds away. You can hear the crowds cheering.
Here we go. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely ecstatic.
The darkness is coming over Dallas.
Here we are. Just a few seconds left.
10 seconds.
Woo! Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay, we are 5 seconds away from totality.
One little bit. It's totally dark here. Deep twilight around here.
Wow. You can hear the crowd.
So the last bit of lights, and we're in totality. Woo! Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That is absolutely breathtaking.
Oh my God, Michael. How are you feeling right now?
I am just awestruck. I mean, there's a few high clouds, but the beauty of the corona is clearly visible. You can see that spiky structure just poking out. It is heart-stoppingly beautiful.
Oh my goodness, I have tears in my eyes. I was not expecting this.
This is one of those experiences that you just never forget.
Thank you for joining us for the Griffith Observatory's broadcast of the total solar eclipse, live from Little Rock, Arkansas. Our broadcast is brought to you by the City of Los Angeles Department of Recreation and Parks, which owns and operates Griffith Observatory, and the Griffith Observatory Foundation, our exclusive non-profit partner. We're glad that you can join us today for a breathtaking astronomical spectacle. Anticipation is building here as we are now about 10 minutes away from the beginning of totality, the most dramatic phase of the eclipse. Everyone outside is watching the eclipse across North America, and you need to still use those eclipse glasses and viewers because the sun is just too bright and too dangerous to look at with your unaided eye. The difference for those here in the path of totality is that for nearly 2 minutes, the eclipse is total, so they can watch it without glasses. We're looking forward to bringing you that moment, and we'll be back in just about 7 minutes or so, or a few minutes from now, just to do that. Thank you. Welcome back to Griffin Observatory's live broadcast of the total solar eclipse, live from Arkansas. We're just minutes away from totality, which occurs at 1:52 p.m. local central time. So I wanted to give you an idea of what you're going to see as it happens very quickly, and I can see all the light levels around me are dropping. I can hear crickets chirping in the background. About 30 seconds before totality, the sky will darken rapidly. Just seconds before totality, the sun's eastern edge or limb will break up into beads of sunlight known as Bailey's beads. After this, the last ray of sunlight filtering through a single valley on the moon will hopefully create the dazzling diamond ring effect. Totality will then begin, lasting for about 2 minutes, just over 2 minutes here. The moment it does, you will notice that we're going to remove the filter from our telescopic camera so that you'll be able to see the eclipse as Griffith Observatory Foundation travelers are seeing down in Belton, Texas, as well as up here in Arkansas. During the period of totality, street lights may come on, birds may act strangely, stars and planets will be visible. Venus will be easily visible to the left of the eclipsed sun, and Jupiter to the right. Interestingly, all 7 planets will actually be visible during the eclipse, though Mars and Saturn will be very faint, and Mercury, Uranus, and Neptune will require a telescope. If you're lucky, we should be able to see prominences, giant arcs of hot gas erupting from the sun. We're about just a few minutes from totality, and once it begins, I will be stepping away to do some astrophotography, but you'll be able to hear the voices of folks here cheering on the eclipse. Enjoy! Okay, we are at the moment of totality. This is incredible. We're seeing the planet Venus in the sky. And the sun has just been eclipsed. Okay. Yep. Okay. That's Venus. Okay. Away.